Good evening, people. I hope you're having a wonderful day, wonderful night, staying cool as it gets cooler on this summer day. Again, sorry for being a little late today, but we got a couple of news articles today, mainly about how proof of stake gets taxed in the US. We got some Binance issues going on in the world. Peter Schiff discusses how much he would buy Bitcoin if he were to get in, and more news on the Lightning Network. So stay tuned. All right. It's late. I'm tired. Let's dive into the news. So let me share my screen with you people. Hope you're doing fantastic. I see I got another subscriber. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. If I get to 500, I should offer 500 Divi to somebody. But we're still 1/5 of the way there. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that subscription. So, alrighty, I think I did it. Did I do it? Yes, I did. All right. This is a nice little article on how are staking rewards taxed for U.S. citizens? Man, my dog will always bark sometime during this article. Baxter, hey, no barking. No barking. But yes, let's get into this article. How are staking rewards taxed for U.S. citizens? The U.S. taxmen are looking at taxing new tokens as income as they stretch the tax rules to fit the crypto agenda. Tax obligations in crypto. Staking is part of the proof of stake POS consensus mechanism that allows participants to reap rewards in the form of new tokens. It is similar to mining rewards for proof of work POW protocols. A tax obligation arises when there is a taxable event. Ethereum, the second most valuable crypto asset by market capitalization, will soon be moving from proof of work protocol to proof of stake. Many are now asking if staking rewards are subject to taxation. There is no clear answer. One basis of comparison is to place the same rules that apply to mining activities. Here it states in QA, does a taxpayer who mines virtual currency, for example, uses computer resources to validate Bitcoin transactions and maintain the public Bitcoin transaction ledger, realize gross income upon receipt of virtual currency resulting from those activities? And the answer to that is yes. When a taxpayer successfully mines virtual currency, the fair market value of the virtual currency as of the date of receipt is included in gross income. See publication 525, Taxable and Non-Taxable Income, for more information on taxable income. But in 2014, the Internal Revenue Service, IA, or IE, the IRS, issued a frequently asked question in its IRS Notice 2014-2021. And it treated mining rewards as a trade of business for taxation purposes. In 2014, staking as a consensus mechanism was relatively unknown. In a suit filed by Joshua and Jessica Jarrett against the United States of America, the Jarretts sought a refund for federal income tax paid to the IRS. The crux of the argument is as follows. The property created through staking activities was not sold or exchanged. The U.S. federal income tax law does not permit the taxation of tokens created through a staking enterprise. Good to know. Legality behind the Jarrett's claim. Cryptocurrency has been classified as a property for a tax purpose in America. Staking rewards can be regarded as new property, which is neither payment nor compensation received from another party. The taxpayer creates it via staking, and income is only derived when the property is converted. The argument relies heavily on Commissioner v. Glenshaw Glass 348 U.S. 426. Which ruled that created property is not realized wealth. The question that arises is, why should staking rewards not be given the same tax treatment as mining rewards? The notice by the IRS has resolved the issue of whether mining rewards are taxable. The answer is simple. A guide does not create a legal obligation. Therefore, the court must clarify the legality of the entire exercise by the IRS. Drawing an analogy to the other traditional tax principles, one common analogy of well-established principles is stock dividends. The IRS and topic number 404 on dividends described it as dividends are distributions of property. A corporation may pay you if you own stock in that corporation. The definition here is almost analogous to staking rewards, but with one major difference. Dividends are payments derived from a source or asset, while created tokens are not derived from a source or asset. In this case, there is no other party originating a payment. The same rationale applies to interest payments derived from fixed deposits. Now, can taxpayers avoid tax for staking rewards? The IRS would likely apply the same tax treatment to mining rewards, but if the argument and duress claim above succeeds, the tax obligation is only deferred, not absolved. The taxable event happens when the newly minted tokens are traded or sold. There is no immediate obligation to pay tax upon receipt of staking rewards because the taxable event has not occurred. Very, very nice. Blank tax treatment will be confusing. The law has to recognize that the existing legal framework for taxing crypto assets is inadequate. Crypto assets are new asset classes with distinct characteristics that may not fit squarely into the existing classes. Lawmakers must recognize the need to legislate a new regulation with simple and clear rules to deal with this new asset class. The rules, however, cannot be made to apply retrospectively. So, woo, this is exciting. So, I'm definitely going to start paying more attention to this. I didn't really realize that. Who are these people again? Commissioner versus Glenn Shaw. So this is the one right now. He was talking about something else. No. Where was it? Where was it? Nope. Or was it that the case? I think it was. But yeah, so that was great news. So if you're a staker for proof of stake with the Divi project or the Theta by running a master node or a guardian node, let's keep a close eye on this because this will tell us if we truly need to pay our taxes on it because it is a difference from the proof of work with Bitcoin. Drinking my green drink, people. Stay healthy. But that's the taxing rule, so pretty good stuff. Like, I'm no financial advisor, no tax attorney. This is just an article on that. If you want more crypto tax laws, talk to your tax attorney or someone who is familiar with the crypto world and the assets with that. And they're the ones who will truly give you a for sure answer. So do your research on that. But as always, pay your taxes, people. Don't try to hide from the government. They'll get you one way or the other. So just pay it and you're left alone. That is that. All right, let's move on to our Binance news. We got 2 articles on that. But Poland regulators spread warning against cryptocurrency exchange Binance. Like, I don't think any of these articles are going to cover it, but like Binance is having some issues with Theta right now. People are saying they cannot withdraw their Theta tokens from the network or exchange. So that is a big no-no. I always tell you people, do not trust exchanges. If you ever get some tokens, move it immediately off of the exchange and onto a non-custodial wallet. Because remember, your keys, your money. If you don't have control of those private and public, those private keys, then you're not in control of your money. And stuff like this can happen. So let's see what Poland has to say about the Binance news. Because that was Theta news that I didn't see an article for that yet. But Poland authorities have come up with the aggression against the most known cryptocurrency exchange. Binance, the country's watchdog for financial activities, has issued a warning into the public against dealing with a cryptocurrency exchange. According to regulators, the exchange is facing lots of regulatory issues globally, and as a result, consumers should be wary of it. There has been a lot of scrutiny on Binance in recent times. Many countries, including the UK, US, Canada, etc., are all clamping down on the exchange activities in their country. Binance is the largest exchange globally, but it seems the growth attracts more financial watchdogs every day. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance is unregulated. Polish watchdog state the Polish Financial Supervision Authority took the Binance issue a step further. The regulatory watchdog released a statement to inform the public that Binance is not regulated in Central Europe. According to their statement, the cryptocurrency sector is not revised nor regulated by the appropriate PFSA. Therefore, any association that public engages into with the Binance is at risk. From that statement, activities such as trading on the platform are risky, as any loss will be on the users. Yeah, taking effect. People, this is the crypto world. You're in control of your crypto, so you have to be very cautious of where you do your business. You're doing an exchange, you're hoping they will run like smoothly, get your money, but most likely that's not the case. You can easily go on YouTube and find other articles of exchanges screwing over people who wanted their money out or shut down accounts for no apparent reason. So look into decentralized DeFi applications. They are the true ones that you want to use. But so the PFCA advises the public to be cautious when trading cryptos or using any other Binance services as they may lose their funds. Regulators scrutinizing Binance to justify their stance further, the PFSA highlighted many of the warnings which Binance has received from global regulators. For example, the regulators mentioned that the German FFSA, the Federal Financial Supervisory Authority, had previously issued warning against Binance. The Financial Authority also mentioned that the Financial Conduct Authority and the Thailand Securities and Exchange Commission has all done the same. Moreover, the Cayman Island Monetary Authority warning also came up to publication as a reference. Apart from these warnings, other countries such as Singapore, Japan, the US, and Canada have been investigating and reviewing Binance's activities in their countries. The financial watchdog also recalled that it had issues warning in January that it is too risky to invest in cryptocurrencies. As a result, the market is not operating under the regulatory guidelines in Poland. As for replying to public warning, Binance has not made any statements yet. Even when our source reached out to ask them about it, the company has kept quiet. So let's recall that the Binance CEO recently made a public statement stating that compliance is a journey. In that statement, he mentioned that the company is willing and available to work with the regulatory authorities to become better. The CEO mentioned that they're eager to work with global regulators to achieve a solid crypto industry. He further noted that the area of cryptocurrency regulation has remained uncertain, even though he said the increase in regulatory demand showed that the industry is growing and maturing as users expect. So yeah, they say they're working on it, but like I said, don't trust exchanges, people. Whatever these guys say, they just want money, and they want your money. And they're going to be acquiring as much coin as they can and giving it to their friends. So you look into decentralized exchanges and non-custodial wallets. If you want to learn about that, I got a Patreon with some videos up there, and also some other links there as well. But let's move on to our next Binance news, because we have Gemini in there as well. Gemini Exchange sticks the boot in as regulatory woes pile on for Binance. As a global regulators show no let-up on Binance, Cameron Winklevoss takes the opportunity to remind everyone Gemini, which he co-founded in 2015, is fully regulated to operate in the US, including New York. Gemini Exchange has always marketed itself as an above-board regulated exchange that works closely with regulators. Now the net is closing in on Binance, Winklevoss said. We're playing the long game. We're trying to be faster tortoises in the race. The long game pays off over time. With talk of class action lawsuits against Binance, the world's largest exchange by trading volume may soon find itself in a whole new heap of trouble. Binance feels the heat for global regulators. Over the past few weeks, a total of 6 global regulators have sounded the alarm on Binance. Yep, as we said in that last article, the Cayman Islands, Financial Conduct, Singapore, and more. But whereas more serious actions was taken by the Financial Service Regulatory Authority of Ontario, who forced Binance to withdraw its services from the Canadian province. And Thailand's Secure Exchange also did theirs. The upshot have same partner firm cut ties with Binance, leading to problems with the UK and European customers ramping on and off the exchange. Joining the lynching, UK banks have stopped payments to crypto businesses, with several specifically mentioned Binance. This includes Santander, Barclays, Monzo, TSB, NAT, West Metro, HSBC, and Lloyds. Whew, that's a lot more. I remember when I reported the article on, I think it was Barclays. That was like the first one, and that was only a couple days ago. So yeah, the news and the market moves fast, people. But it never rains, but it pours, which is so true. According to The Verge, May's crypto crash did more than inject FUD into the markets on May 19th. Bitcoin and the rest of the markets crashed. Binance users were locked out of their accounts and were unable to exit positions. This outage has united affected users who intended to bring legal action against Binance, but as Binance has no official headquarters, users are at a loss on where to send their paperwork. There are apparently 2 groups trying to figure out how to sue this company, one in France working with 700 people and one in Italy. As well as that, the May 19 crash also showed flaws in Binance leverage tokens. This derivative product gives leverage exposure to crypto assets. It differs from margin trading in that users can get leverage exposure, but without putting up collateral or being liquidated when the trade goes too far to the other way. However, BLVTs can, of course, lose value. The May crash of 19 saw several BLVTs act inconsistently to how they were supposed to. For example, LTC down should have spiked higher in price as the markets crashed, but it fell along with Litecoin leading the unfair losses. Victims have labeled the Binance token as defective derivatives products. Like the locked out users, they also seek some form of redress for Binance. Binance CEO Champagne Zhao recently issued a letter and many mistakes have been made. He attributes this to the speed at which the platform has grown. Although the letter didn't address any specific case, Zhao said he and his firm are committed to protecting the users, but it will take time to get things right. Lie. That is a lie. These guys do not care about their users. There is many times we see accounts get shut down or the network is down and there's no one to call. It's like you can try to get their customer support, but you'll be waiting for hours. It's pretty bad, like we're dealing with these exchanges. So if you want to deal with it, like any type of exchange or any type of purchase, I recommend do it through a non-custodial wallet or get yourself an over-the-counter exchange. You got a link to Caleb Brown down there. Sign up for him. You will not be disappointed because they are a one-on-one person you can actually talk to. You're not dealing with a computer or the exchanges where you got to text it, send an email to somebody. No, you have a physical person you got to talk to and you deal with transactions via wallet. So it's not an exchange in the marketplace, it's through a hard wallet. So that's why when you deal with over-the-counters, it doesn't affect the market cap or the price fluctuation because it's just a peer-to-peer transaction. That is it. But yeah, so that is the Binance news. Like exchanges, don't trust them, people. Just do not trust them. Be in control of your finances. Educate yourself and do your own research. Let's move on to Peter Schiff and what he says when he will buy Bitcoin. The gold bug Peter Schiff reveals the price he would buy Bitcoin at. Even at a rock bottom BTC price, Schiff maintains gold as the asset to hold. Gold bug Peter Schiff is known for his hatred of Bitcoin, but in a recent interview with Anthony Pompliano, he divulges what it would take for him to buy into the leading cryptocurrency. Peter Schiff's view on inflation makes sense. As much as the crypto community dumps on Schiff, he views on modern monetary theory have a ring of common sense about them, and that's something that shares with many crypto advocates. The primary tenet of the MMT asserts that governments can and should print as much money as they want because they cannot become insolvent. In other words, governments can extend the public debt to infinity. With everything that has happened over the past 18 months or so, this is a policy that many governments have adopted, particularly the US government. But Schiff has warned that continuing down this path will exacerbate economic imbalances, leading to an economic collapse. He added that his history shows money printing will only lead to inflation, which he calls tax on itself. We've had plenty of examples in history where currencies have been destroyed based on what they now call modern monetary theory. The whole idea that you could print all this money and not have inflation, printing money is inflation. So by definition, you're creating inflation. But when it comes to protecting oneself from this, here's where Bitcoin advocates and Schiff differ greatly. Schiff opposes Bitcoin because he thinks it's an unreliable store of wealth and also lacks inherent value. But money needs to be a commodity. It needs to have actual value unto itself, not just the uses and means of exchange. But he's waiting for the Bitcoin dip. This is a view that he maintains across all cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin. But in his mind, there's an exception to this rule, gold-backed cryptocurrency. But if you have a digital currency that's backed by gold and redeemable in gold, well then that's fine, that's great. I think that would be perfectly. That's basically like how we were back in the 70s before Nixon took us off the gold standard with the dollar. So I see where he would prefer that. But when quizzed on what it would take for him to buy Bitcoin, Schiff said at the current price, he wouldn't want to waste his money. Right now, they're like 33,000, 34,000. I wouldn't want to waste 34,000 on Bitcoin. I can buy a lot of other things with that money. But what Schiff doesn't know is like, if you want to try to get in, like, good luck. If it drops that low, I doubt. Like, if it drops to $1, I doubt you can even get it because everyone's going to be buying it at that price. But Schiff added that the price of Bitcoin fell sufficiently to less than $1, then you might take the plunge to finally buy Bitcoin. But that's the thing, you cannot time this market. This isn't a timing game in the cryptocurrency world. Right now, this is an accumulation game because this can easily replace the fiat currency that's going on because we're not backing anything. This is debt and inflation we're creating at the moment. But yeah, so that is Peter Schiff saying he's not interested with Bitcoin until $1 mark. But good luck with that, Peter Schiff. I don't ever see it hitting that price. Maybe in our Great Depression hit, but it'll be there for a quick second is how I see it. But that's the Peter Schiff news. In our last article, we're going to cover the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Bitcoin Lightning Network reaches record capacity. Ooh, look at that lightning strike. Bitcoin's second layer payment protocol, Lightning Network, has been expanding unnoticed by most users. First proposed in 2015 and launched in 2018 as a beta, its adoption and capacity has accelerated during the past few months. The Lightning Network allows users to send fast and low-cost transactions via payment channels. Unlike the Bitcoin-based layer, Lightning transactions are processed off-chain via a mechanism called gossip and probing that enables nodes can follow possible transaction routes. Arcane Research published a recent report wondering if this Bitcoin-based network will have a similar momentum as decentralized finance in July 2021 during the DeFi summer, and mania broke out during this period, and seemingly everyone started to interest in DeFi apps. Data from this research firm indicates that the Lightning Network increased its capacity from 1,100 to 1,200 in 39 days. Later, from 1,200 to 1,300, it took 34 days, as the chart below shows. Pretty nice. At the moment, Bitcoin Lightning Network has a capacity of around 1,800 Bitcoin. Its expansion period has been contracting. It took it 5 days to rise from 1,700 to its current levels of around 60 million worth of BTC. In contrast, the metric stood at 1,040 Bitcoin at the start of 2021. Thus, Arcane Research records a 70% increase in under 6 months. In comparison, it took this network 3 years to go from 0 to 1,000. That is really fast. But remember, people like these guys are not these guys. You gotta think of all the Bitcoin out there. That's 1,000 to 21 million, and 5 and 6 million is gone forever. So Bitcoin's running now. You might want to get it while you can before you're having to work for a very, very small portion of it. But as a consequence, there has been an exponential rise in the number of nodes activated on the network. This metric stands at 22,705. But Arcane Research noted that only 12,079 operate as active payment channels. The former channels have surpassed 55,000, the research firm claimed. The rapid growth could be a consequence of the increased use of the Lightning Network, which has seen greater exposure and demand in recent weeks. With El Salvador's government making Bitcoin legal tender, Bitcoin could jump to the mainstream adoption on top of the Lightning Network. This factor could be the first step for BTC to reach a wider use base. The Bitcoin Beach based in El Salvador initiative has demonstrated that BTC can leverage for an everyday low-cost use case. As a former Google employee, Michael Levin argues in his post, Lightning Network Bitcoin crossing the chain superpower. This payment protocol could drive a new wave of BTC adoption according to its adoptive curve. BTC is in early adopter phase and must be a close gap between them and an early majority. These users are usually more pragmatic with specific needs that require solutions to meet them. Fast, low-cost transactions with the Lightning Network could be perfect use cases for Bitcoin to create a beachhead into the mainstream, Levin said. With the Lightning Network and motivated entrepreneurs, Bitcoin, the network unlocks the power of human ingenuity and optionality in its race to cross the chasm. At the time of writing this, BTC trades at $32,400 with a 1.4 loss in daily chart. Bitcoin currently facing a high amount of selling pressure and could see further downside unless the bulls made a decisive move. But so there you go. And we're in a little lows. Let's take a look at our market cap where we're at now. We've gone a little bit lower, 31,800. But hey, we are still sticking to that 30,000 mark. That is not bad at all. If you look at where we were last year at this time, I think we're at like 9,000 or 10,000. So we're still at 3x. So if you bought back then you're still loving where you're at. Ethereum's at 1,800. Binance is at 293, going down for part of all that news. Dogecoin's down to 19 cents. Litecoin's down to 124. Let's see. Theta's at 470. Oh, whoa. Theta, 479. Ooh, great buying opportunity. And where's that Shiba? I heard that one dropped even more. Yep, Shiba Inu's even down even further. And where's our AMPs at 4? Let's want to take a look at Theta Fuel, 28. So yeah, not a bad little drop. But there's that. Lastly, let's go over the Crypto Fear to Greed Index. Currently, we're sitting at 21, so it went up in 1. I thought it would have been lower for fear, but looks like people still might be getting a little bit greedy. If you don't know what the Crypto Fear to Greed Index does, extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. So we are still in extreme fear marks, meaning it's a great time to buy and just hodl. But again, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I am tired. I'm going to go get some sleep now. But again, please like this video, subscribe, and if I get to 500, I'm going to give away 500 Divi. So let's spike up my subscriptions. People, share this with your friends. Let's educate ourselves and whatnot. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're having a great night, morning, evening, whenever you're going to be watching this. And the Crypto Sherpa is out.